legal education accessible to all. We specialize in webinars and certificate courses on a broad range of legal topics, often extending beyond the traditional law school curriculum to promote diverse perspectives. K. Sweta ma'am is the speaker for this session, and she will be speaking on Workplace Harassment and Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Ma'am is a dedicated lawyer based in Hyderabad, and she is on a relentless quest for knowledge and justice. With a solid academic foundation and a deep sense of social awareness, Ma'am has developed a keen understanding of the intricacies of the law and judiciary. Currently, Ma'am serves as a legal counsel for the Women's Safety Wing in the Women and Child Development Department at Telangana State Police, wherein she specializes in legal matters related to women and child welfare. Shweta ma'am is passionate about using her legal expertise to create a positive societal impact. Ma'am is eager to leverage her experience to contribute meaningfully to the legal community. She is open to collaboration, learning opportunities, and networking with like minded professionals who share her commitment to justice and equality. So please join your hands in inviting Shweta ma'am. On to you, ma'am, for the event.
Thank you, Hemant. Hello, everyone present here in the meeting. Okay, so we have more than 30 participants here. So today we are here to learn about women laws, especially on workplace harassment against women and POCSO Act, like protection of children from sexual offenses. So before we begin, I would like to give a brief overview of POCSO, and then I'll present on POSH, which is sexual harassment against women. So as we all know, like who is more dominant? Like we are in our society, in our especially in our country, right? Offenses happens against whom? I'm not talking about specific gender. I'm talking about who is that, which part of the society, the dominant and the, we call it the least dominant. So when offenses happen, we would observe mostly it happens by the dominant to someone who is below them. When offender tries to harass or tries to molest or rape, whatever it is, when he does it, he thinks I am at the dominant position. And especially, like, yes, I'm not talking about only women get harassed, but we are talking about most average, most number is about women. So I would, if there is anyone who's getting offended, like, no, not only women, not only women are getting harassed, but men are also getting harassed, I would come there also. But let's talk about women first, because we all know women are unsafe and women are the most number of citizens who are getting harassed. And they are the number of victims are from women only. So so it is about who is in the dominant position. The men in the society, when the offender, I'm not talking about, yes, all men, but the offender, they think that I belong from a dominant position, and women who is who's just, they treat as an object or whatever. When they offend, then when they create that offense, they make it seem like, yes, no, you are not in the dominant, and yes, you should be below me. So this is how that mindset is the starting, or we say that mindset is the root to cause an offense or cause a crime. I have been in this women and children welfare department from past 2 years, or even before that, I was practicing and learning with them only. So I have seen a woman or a female from the time she is born until the time of her death is unsafe. I'll just give a very practical example. Recently, we have gotten a case. She was 65-year-old lady. She was raped by her elder son. her own son. It's a very recent case. It's like a 1 week back case. And I'm just talking, I'll be very practical because I deal with these cases. So I'll be very practical with these cases. I'll give you practical case examples. So she was raped and she couldn't take it and she didn't file a police complaint. Later, when she didn't wake up for one day, she was, everyone in her neighbor inquired that why is this lady? She's old and she's not coming out of the house. What happened to her? So she, after inquiry and everything, one lady got to know that this has happened and this is the situation that has happened. She immediately went to the police station and she filed a complaint. When after the investigation and everything, when she came, she approached me after the everything was done. During the investigation, even after the investigation, it was very clear that her son has raped her. Even in the confession of the offender, he has confessed that yes, I was intoxicated and I have done that. So after all that, when she has come to me, she was literally holding my leg and she was saying, please don't file a complaint on my son. Beat him in the police station for 2 days and send him back. He has 3 young daughters. That lady was a mother and she was still thinking about her son even after that heinous offense, heinous crime that he has done. I told her, what if he does the same to his daughters? She was like, no, if this is not possible. He did it thinking wrong, or he was intoxicated. But she was only thinking from the mother's heart. She was not taking the practical scenarios and situation. She was only thinking about that. But I gave her a very thorough counseling and I explained her what can happen, what are the consequences might happen, and everything I have explained her. She understood. She went home. Next day again, I went to meet her and I asked her whether she ate or not, how is she doing and everything. Because we had to take her for a medical examination. Because after medical examination, the FSL reports and all, everything has to be, the detections and everything has to be matched. So next day again, she was saying the same. No, please don't file a complaint. Please don't do this, because his daughter's life will be ruined and nobody would come up and marry his daughters. Again, we just explained her, no, this is not the thing. He will be in the jail for a few days. Again, he will be sent out of remand and he will be bailed out. She did not understand. And yesterday we got the news that she had consumed poison and she committed suicide. Just because she thought that she would die and the case won't be on her son. So dying is the ending of everything and there won't be any case on my son. On that thought, she has committed suicide. So that lady was 65-year-old. Until her death, she wasn't safe. And we all know we get offenses from even the kids who are like few months born, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. We are getting cases like they're going to colleges and they're going to schools, the kindergartens, and teachers are harassing them. Teachers are doing bad. So I'm not only talking about the children. I'm not talking only about adult women. I'm talking about the gender. The whole gender is very unsafe here. So on that basis, we have different laws and even segregated laws. For, POCSO, we have for minor under 18 years of age. And then we have our sections, sexual harassment case, rape sections, penal sections and everything. Now in BNS, we have stringent punishments and stringent laws. But making it all, does it make any change? It's still the same. We are unsafe. We are still not able to walk on the roads feeling safe and with the freedom that we are safe and we are fine. We are still not able to decide whom to trust and whom to just doubt, and whom we are not able to understand. Sometimes our gut says no, he is safe. Sometimes it's like no, he's unsafe. So it's a very difficult situation for women to come out and be very much, freedom, and they cannot walk on the roads, they cannot go for walk, they cannot go for workplace, be it school, be it play area, wherever, be it home, nothing is safe. So in on this it's raising, the raising concerns are about workplace. So thinking that in mind, let's will be presenting you presentation where we can understand more about workplace harassment, and you can let me know if you are able to see my screen. I'll be sharing my screen.
The PPT is visible now.
Okay.
If you could just put it in slideshow mode, I
Yeah.
think.
So we'll do that. Yeah, so this is the PPT, like we can follow this and we can understand it better. So we all know what is POSH Act, right? Sexual harassment of women at workplaces. This was enacted in 2013, and we'll start with the evolution. Do we all know what is Vishaka versus state of Rajasthan? I'll just give a brief about it so that we can. Okay, first I'll go with the evolution, how POSH Act started. First, there was this case, Vishaka versus state of Rajasthan. In this case, there was this lady. She was a social worker. Her name was Bhavri Devi. So Bhavri Devi was a Dalit woman. She was employed with Rural Development Program of the government of Rajasthan. Her only intention, and as per her work role, her only thing was to stop harassments against women, Child Marriage Act, POCSO acts, all this. So her efforts were very much clear. One in a very fine day, and it was very afternoon, and she went in a area where a lot of people were gathered. There she asked what is the matter, and then this she saw that there was a child marriage happening. So she tried her best to stop that child marriage on the spot. But she on that with the efforts what she did, she was taken to a corner, and she was gang raped, and even her husband came to support her, and her husband came to stop that, but she was raped in front of her husband. She was considered as Dalit woman in that society, and she was raped because people thought that she's a Dalit and she shouldn't be the one to teach us what is right, what is wrong. She is below us and we are above us. So we are the dominant citizen, we are the dominant people in the society, and she's a Dalit, so she has no right to teach us. With this thing, she was raped. This incident was very hazardous, and that working women were exposed to on day-to-day basis, and highlighted this urgency for safeguarding this regard. But she wrote a complaint. Nobody has taken the complaint. Even in the police station, her complaint was not taken. Then there was an NGO called Vishaka. The NGO was about all women rights, and it was led by lawyers and women rights activists were there. So they filed a PIL in Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, after this, the Supreme Court has given this Vishaka guidelines. In the Vishaka guidelines, the Supreme Court has explained in depth sexual harassment includes what is sexual harassment at workplace. So I'll just explain what is sexual harassment at workplace, which was given by Supreme Court under Vishaka guidelines. Sexual harassment includes all unwelcome sexual determined behavior. It can be directly or by implications. Physical contact and advances, a demand or request of sexual favors, sexually colored remarks, showing pornography or any, not only pornography, even it is kind of, sending some emojis or some GIFs in which is showing that it's a sexual favor, or it's a demand of sexual favor, or it's something very disturbing to us, that can be taken under consideration of sexual harassment as well, or any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. Let's go back and understand. So this is Vishaka judgment. Vishaka judgment happened. Then Supreme Court has recognized for the first time what sexual harassments at workplace are very important to look into the matter. So Supreme Court has framed Vishaka guidelines and ordered the Union of India to enact a legislation combating sexual harassment at workplace. Then it was all fine until Vishaka guidelines. But then after 3 years, Medha Kotwal versus Union of India, in this case, Medha Kotwal wrote a letter to the Supreme Court saying that Vishaka guidelines have not been followed in a lot of establishments and organizations, and still sexual harassments at workplace are going on. So after this letter by Medha Kotwal, the Sexual Harassment of Workplace, which is Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, was enacted. Here we can understand the timeline. In 2007, this bill was passed. We can understand here. In 2010, draft bill introduced in Lok Sabha. In 2012, the bill was amended and reintroduced in the Lok Sabha. 2012, which is September 3rd, the bill was passed in the Lok Sabha. In 2013, February 26th, the bill was passed in the Rajya Sabha. On 2013, April 23rd, the act received President's assent. And on 9th December 2013, POSH Act came into effect. So this is the timeline of from 2007 to 2013, how we have been able to, from Vishaka guidelines to POSH Act, we have been able to reach from 2007 to 2013. Next, what are the key provisions of POSH Act? So the POSH Act applies to the whole of India with this applicable jurisdiction, and then it is applied, it is not gender neutral. So a lot of people think that POSH Act, there is this IC committee and POSH Act, it is for men as well as women, it is for the employees. But let me be very clear, POSH Act is not a gender neutral, it is only specifically for women. But in some organizations, what happens is they make their own rules. So that is POSH rules. In those rules, they also include men, and they make a term like employees. They don't only include women. They also say that even men can raise a complaint if they face any sort of harassments or anything. So now, who is an aggrieved woman? Woman of any age, whether employed or not, alleges to have been subjected to any act of sexual harassment. And where should the sexual harassment should be taken place? It should be at the workplace, because this act is specifically about sexual harassment at workplace. So it should be at a workplace. I'll explain what is workplace and what extends to workplace. The POSH Act is gender neutral. We know that. Now, covered bodies, the POSH Act applies to both organized and unorganized sector of India. Yeah, here it is mentioned, employers may choose to extend this through their policy, because in their policy, they also make it for men. But POSH Act only covers for women as per the act. Okay, so this was the thing I was talking about, which is necessary to have been versus man versus women. So in this High Court of Calcutta, clarified that sexual harassment complaints against another individual of the same gender is maintainable under POSH Act. For example, an aggrieved woman can raise a complaint against a woman as well. It shouldn't be only against a man, because the victim or the complainant here is mentioned as aggrieved woman, but respondent can be either man or a woman. So same gender complain of sexual harassment against each other. So it is also possible that women harassing women. It is not only like any only man or any specific gender is only harassing women, right? Now here is the complete definition of aggrieved woman. So aggrieved woman can be working, can be a visitor at working place, or can be a student. I'll explain. If she is working, she is working as a domestic worker. For example, we have a house of 6 members in the family, and our house help comes. She can be that she's a domestic worker, so she can be termed as a working woman. And if at all, because we have a house and it's not an organization, we don't have 10 members in the committee in the house, so we don't have to make an IC, internal committee in the house. So she can also, as in POSH Act, she can also raise a complaint if any harassment has taken place at home, at her workplace. I will explain how she can raise a complaint. Now, working regular, temporary, ad hoc, daily wages. Whoever is working, we can say she's an intern, or she's a full-time employee, or she is a temporary, or whatever she is. If she is coming and working, she is even working there for 1 hour, 2 hours, she is a working. She would be considered as a working woman, and that place would be considered for her as a workplace. Now, for remuneration, voluntary basis or otherwise, I've explained, yes, employed directly or through an agent. However, she is employed, that doesn't matter if she is coming and working there. If she is visiting there for her work, it is in workplace, and she would be considered under aggrieved woman if something wrong happens to her. Again, contract worker, probationary, trainee, apprentice. Yes, now visiting a workplace. For example, I have an office and a sales girl comes to my office. She is not an employee to my office, but still if something wrong happens to her, my company has an IC, and that IC would be taking up this case. She can complain to my IC as well, because she is a sales girl. She came to my office for her work purpose, and this place would be considered as her workplace. So she would also be considered under aggrieved woman if something wrong happens to her. Even students would also be considered as aggrieved women. Now, what amounts to sexual harassment? Yes. So the POSH Act defines sexual harassment in line with the Supreme Court's definition in Vishaka judgment. Yeah, we have explained already. Sexual harassment can be physical contact and advances, demands or sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct of. Yes, and the act is wide to cover both direct or implied sexual conduct, which may involve physical, verbal, or even written conduct. Anything, I'm telling again and again, even an emoji can come under sexual, a sexual remark, which is sexually colored remark. Making sexually colored remark, even an emoji comes under it. Okay, now what is a workplace? So we have, as per POSH Act and Vishaka guidelines, workplace is conventional office setup. But again, in Vishaka guidelines, it was only office. In POSH Act, it was introduced the concept of extended workplace. Now, what is an extended workplace? I'll explain. Extended workplace is something like, for example, we have to travel to a place 50 kilometers away for a site visit. So that site visit is for during the course of, we can say course of employment. So even that workplace is considered to be my workplace, that site visit. Or if I'm going to some restaurant to meet some person, which is part of my work, my employer has asked me to do that. So even that cafeteria or that place of visit, a restaurant, that is also my workplace. That will also be considered my workplace. So that is extended. Even while transporting, while I'm commuting from one place to another, and during the commutation, during the course of traveling, if something wrong happens to me, if something sexually, even the driver or anyone has sexually harassed me, so that would be considered as my workplace harassment. Because the only reason is, as per POSH Act, workplace includes any place visited by the employee arising out of or during the course of employment, including
We can't hear you, ma'am. I guess your mic is off, maybe. We can't hear you, ma'am. If uh, maybe there's some issue with your mic, or you can try joining in again if the mic isn't the issue. We are working with ma'am. She seems to be having some technical issues. Please kindly give us 5 to 10 minutes.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible now.
I kept on speaking. I don't know until where I stopped. Can you please tell me?
Ma'am, the PPT on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So have you completed the IC, internal committee?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I'll start with the IC. So have you completed the definition of workplace?
No, ma'am. I think whilst you were explaining workplace, that is
Okay.
when your audio went.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. I'll again continue with the workplace. So we'll understand the definition of workplace. Just let me know. I mean, if my voice cuts, let me know. I think there is some network issue. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Not yet, ma'am, but it comes with a lag.
Okay, not yet. Okay. Not able to share my screen, I guess. Let me know if it is visible. Okay, sorry, an error has occurred when. Okay.
If you could maybe send the PPT to me over LinkedIn so that I'll present,
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll just do that.
or else you could also try again.
Yeah, let me try. Let me just log out and rejoin again. So that I'll check.
Sure.
Also, guys, I have a small announcement. Since obviously there's a technical issue, from the side of man on. Obviously, the session is going on, and we believe that the session will, we'll be able to complete the session by 7:15 or 7:20. So we were planning if we can have the last session with Professor Gauri tomorrow, because obviously ma'am needs more time to complete this session, and we again don't want you to again we don't want you to feel ki again the sessions are inconvenient, so we can have the last session tomorrow, and we'll share this on mail too. And yeah, in the meantime, we can finish this session, and you guys can take a rest. Thank you.
Okay, Hemant, I am sharing you this on LinkedIn. If you can present the same.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll share it to my partner Abhinav, and then Abhinav will present this.
Yeah, fine. Just check if you have received it.
I've received it, ma'am, and Abhinav, the same has been sent to you. So please present from
All
your
right,
end.
Hemant, just give me 1 minute, just 1 minute.
And also about the subsequent session. Garima ma'am has a meeting at 7:45, and since this issue propped up, we won't be able to wrap it up before 7:45, and ma'am won't be able to miss her meeting, and we won't be able to do justice to the session. That is why we feel that it would be better if we shift it to tomorrow morning. And any feedback is welcome. The timing, we'll try and keep it late in the morning tomorrow, maybe by 11 or 12. We'll also consult with ma'am about the timing before making any comments. But then if people have office tomorrow or there are any obligations that any participant has, they can inform us about that. We'll maybe then keep it in the evening.
Yeah, so let's go to that workplace slide. I think it was 11th or 14th. Mhm. Yeah, the next after this, yeah, workplace. On 11th, yeah, the 11th slide. Okay, extended workplace. Did you all understand? Where was I actually? I'm not sure. Did you understand that extended workplace?
Yes.
Okay. So now determining of workplace, whether the act has occurred in the workplace or not. How do we determine that? Okay, now workplace definition is clear that it extended workplace is this and workplace is this. But how do we understand that the act where it has been occurred is workplace or not? So proximity of the workplace, proximity from place of work. How do we understand? We understand as the proximity. Second is control of the management over such a place, residence where working woman is residing, where the act has occurred. We would understand that who has control over that management or place, be it a restaurant, be it a cafeteria, be it a house, who has the control over it. If the employer has the control over it or a local body has a control over it, then this is how we understand that this workplace, and we determine the workplace. Next, such a residence has to be an extension or contiguous part of the working place. That residence or anything has to be in extension. For example, I have been working in my office, but I am on a hybrid mode. So my extended workplace can be my house as well. So that can be, that residence can also be considered under workplace. Okay, next. So section 2O, clause 4 of POXO Act of, POSH Act. I'm very much familiar with the term POXO. So, okay, POSH Act clarifies workplace, where workplace should also consider the duration during the course of employment. That if you are in the workplace and you are not in the course of employment and still any wrong act or sexual harassment has occurred, that act won't be considered under POSH Act, because workplace and course of employment should match. If we are we're not even working and we are not at the course, during the course of employment we are at the workplace and something happens, then it won't be considered in POSH Act. This was considered in Silajit Goa versus Sikkim University. Okay, next. Now there is this internal committee who takes the complaint, or if first earlier it was ICC, Internal Complaints Committee. Now it has changed to internal committee, because an IC can work even if there was no complaint. An IC has the power to even understand, and they can also find that some sexual harassment or some wrong acts has been done here, so they can take up the case on their own, even without a complaint. So that is why the name has been changed from ICC, Internal Complaints Committee, to IC, Internal Committee. Now the POSH Act requires an employer to set up an IC. Every employer where more than 10 employees are working, there an IC should be there to hear and redress grievances pertaining to sexual harassment. Failure to constitute the IC has led to imposition of a fine under POSH Act, and the fine amount can be 50,000 or more. Okay, next. Now the constitution of IC. So there will be 4 members in the IC. One has to be the presiding officer. Who will be the presiding officer? A woman employed at the most senior level at the workplace in the same organization should be the presiding officer. She should be the woman, and she should be at a senior level. Next, there will be 2 members from the organization, which 2 members would be, one would be woman, and they should have the legal knowledge and social work. One out of 2 members, one has to be a woman. Again, there will be one external member. External member can be from an NGO or from any association committed to the cause of women, or persons familiar with issues relating to sexual harassment. So there will be 4 members. Out of 4, 3 members has to be present during the inquiry or during the investigation of the complaint. When a complaint has arisen, out of these 4 members, any 3 members should be present during the inquiry and during the investigation of the complaint. Next. Registration of IC. So it depends on state to state. So employers in Mumbai, they register IC with the Office of District Women and Child Development Officer, and employers in Telangana, they register it through a box which is called TSHE box. That this registers IC on sexual harassment. This is an electronic box. Again, this is also in the Women and Child Development Officer only. In the same department, they don't have to give any written registration form or something. It can be done through an electronic box, which is known as TSHE box. Next. Yes, now just like IC, we have the same LC, which is local committee. So local committee is a government body. It is set up in every district levels. For example, there must be offices or there must be organizations where less than 10 employees are working. For those establishment, there will be LC, local committees. In these will also work as same like IC. They will investigate, redress complaints if sexual harassment from the unorganized sector, or from establishment where IC has not been constituted on account of establishment having less than 10 employees, or complaint is against the employer. There would be some organization where there are more less than 10 employees and there is any complaint against the employer, then they would directly approach to the LC, which is a government body, same like IC, it is a local committee. Next. Okay, constitution of LC. In IC, we had the presiding member, and then internal member and external members. Even here, we have a chairperson. Chairperson would be again a woman in the field of social work and committed to cause of women. Local women, again from the same, it is a local committee, so it is a government body. So again, a local woman can be from, taluka, tehsil, ward, or any municipality in the district. But she should be a government job holder. And there will be another third member will be an NGO member. These will be 2 members. Again, the constitution again has 4 members. 1 chairperson, 1 local woman, and 2 NGO members. 2 members out of which at least 1 shall be a woman. to be nominated from NGO or any association committed to the cause of women or person familiar with issues pertaining to sexual harassment. At least one of the members should have a background in law, and at least one member should be a woman belonging to SC or ST, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So these are from 2 NGO members, local women and chairperson. Even in this LC, when a complaint is raised and investigation and inquiry is in the process, 3 members should be present. Even if 1 member is absent, it works, but 3 members should be present. 2 members can never decide or never investigate or any complaint. Next. Powers of the IC and LC, it is same as the civil court judge. They can summon and they can ask for any documents. They can give summons and enforcing the attendance of any person, examining him on oath, same like which happens in the civil court, and requiring the discovery of production of documents for the purpose of evidences or other matter which may be prescribed. So even in the civil court, when a complaint is raised, again the summons goes. They are asked to produce documents for evidences and everything. The same does the IC and LC. Next. A platform to file complaints. Okay, so again, there is a She box. It is by Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is an online platform to file complaint arising from the workplace. So there is this thing that there are many complainants who are not ready to file the complaint in their IC, their internal committee, or in the local committee, because of the reputation or because of the rumors and talks in the office or in the workplace. So there is this She box. It is an online platform. They can also report the complaints of sexual harassment at the workplace in the She box. The She box, what She box does is they would determine where the complaint has come from, and they would again pass it to the IC, and the IC or the LC, they would be looking after that complaint in a more sensitive way, and the confidentiality would be maintained. It won't be revealed out. So this is an online raising complaint. It has been launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development, which is known as She box. It is a very useful and we can say it's a very helpful thing for women, because they are always scared about the rumors and the talks that happens in the workplace. Next. Complaint mechanism. Yeah. So when there is a act or some sexual harassment has occurred, the complainant should file a complaint within 3 months from the date of the incident. The aggrieved woman is required to submit 6 copies written complaint along with supporting documents and names and addresses of the witnesses to the IC or LC. If it is in the organization where IC has already been instituted, then it is IC. If not, it is LC. Within 3 months from the date of incident. The instances where sufficient cause, okay, if there is any instances where it has been stated that, okay, so there are reasons where you can't complain within 3 months, then it is extended again for next 3 months. But the complaint should be in writing, always. Complaint, when they are giving it to the IC, it should be in writing. It gives the provisions to friends, relatives, co-workers, psychologists, psychiatrists, etc. to file a complaint on behalf of the complainant if at all the complainant is not ready to go and file, and if because of there is any incapacity or mental incapacity or death, anyone can go and file the complaint. But if except the death matter, the complainant should be on the permission of the victim, who is a victim, that aggrieved woman. She should say, okay, yeah, yes, she should be ready with she should be ready to file a complaint. But sometimes it happens that she is not ready to go and file the complaint. Then anyone on her behalf can go and file the complaint on her behalf with her permission and consent. Next. Okay, so after a complaint has been raised, first, before initiating actions on complaint, the IC, on the request of the aggrieved woman, can make efforts to settle the matter between the parties through conciliation. And for important thing, no monetary settlement should be made as basis of conciliation. If there is a complaint and they are ready to settle it outside of the court without going to the whole process of investigation, inquiry, and everything, they can just settle it in the conciliation, and no monetary or any compensation would be allowed, or no monetary settlement would be done in the conciliation. The IC or the LC, as the case may be, shall record the settlement arrived and thereafter provide copies of the settlement to both the parties. Next. Okay, now this is a chart where we can understand how from the incident until the judgment and the punishment, how it works. So first, written complaint would be going to the IC. Incident of sexual harassment at workplace, which goes to the IC or LC. If it is completing with conciliation, it's okay. If not, report of inquiry. The respondent would be asked to respond within 7 days with the answer, like what supporting documents and like what is the reason, what has happened, because even the petitioner and the respondent has their right to take their own support and produce whatever documents and whatever reasons they have until the respondent is proven guilty. Next, if IC takes no action if there is no action by the employer, we can go and file it in the tribunal or court. And if on the basis of report of inquiry, then it will be a punishment of malicious false complaint or evidence. Next, if at all this happens, we can again go, if the aggrieved woman is proven wrong because it was a false or any malicious complaint, if she wants, she can again appeal to court or tribunal. And if at all the respondent has proven guilty, the action of misconduct would be taken place. Next. Yeah, this timeline again here is the same. The inquiry shall be completed within 90 days from the receiving of complaint. Even in the police station, when the complaint is received, the charge sheet and the complete investigation process should be completed within 90 days. Same follows by the IC. An inquiry report shall be issued within 10 days from the completion of the inquiry. Yes, after the inquiry is being completed, within 10 days, inquiry report shall be issued. The employer needs to take action based on the recommendations of the IC or LC within 60 days from the receipt of the report, and within 90 days, the decision of the committee can be appealed. It can be appealed in the further court, in the court or the tribunal. Next. Yeah, punishment. So the punishments that may be imposed by an employer on an employee, it can be in many forms based on the gravity of the case. So now punishment prescribed under the service rules of the organization. First is how the organization has their own service rules. Apart from the POSH Act, they would be having their own service rules. In those rules, punishment can be prescribed to the respondent. Next, in case of no service rules, if there are no service rules, disciplinary action including written apology, warning, these are the points. It is all depending on the severity of the case. Written apology if it is a very small case, warning, reprimand, censure, withholding of promotion, withholding of pay rise or increments, terminating the respondent from service, undergoing a counseling session, or carrying out community service. And this is the highest level of punishment, deduction of compensation payable to the aggrieved woman from the wages of the respondent. The last point, deduction of compensation payable to the aggrieved woman from the wages of the respondent. This is the highest level of punishment by the IC. If at all the case is very severe, it goes to the police station and then it goes to the court. But in the organization, in a certain corporate and company, this is the last punishment an IC can provide. An IC can instruct, this is the compensation. If failure to constitute an IC leads to penalty of 50,000, this we already know. Repetition of the offense might result in double the punishment and or deregistration of the entity or revocation of statutory license. Next. Yeah, so now we have BNS and we have some key offenses. We already know this, but the sections are very new. Outraging the modesty of a woman, which was 354D earlier. Now it is section 74. 354D was in IPC. So sexual harassment by a man, section 75. Assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to disrobe. This is a very new section that has been section of law that has been added in BNS. Earlier, it was not there in IPC because earlier it was direct sexual assault and then there was sexual harassment. Between sexual assault and sexual harassment, there is something called disrobing, because removing the clothes with criminal force and all. Section 76, it has been added in BNS. Now, voyeurism, it is another new section which has been added in BNS. We all know what is voyeurism. Taking out the pictures, and earlier it was not a crime. There was no specific section for this, but taking out the pictures and misusing it with editing the body or the face, that is voyeurism. Stalking, this is our old section, we have it already. And insulting the modesty of a woman, section 79. Okay, next. Yes, a safe workplace in every woman's right. Thank you. So have we now I want some communication because I am feeling like I'm only talking to the screen. So have you all understood?
If there are any questions that the participants
We
would
can
like
have a question. Yeah, we can have a question answer session if we have time for 5 to 10 minutes. Any doubt or any queries you have from POSH Act, any workplace related or duration of employment related, or like we have understood who is an aggrieved woman, right? When POSH Act comes into play. Any questions?
Guys, feel free to ask your questions. You can use chat box if you don't want to unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
if you don't want to unmute, we can use chat box as well. Okay, we have a question. What are the safeguards of women who complain, if there may be later consequences? Yes, for later consequences, we have read that if again there is a complaint, same respondent has given a complaint, the punishment will be more. But yeah, and the safeguards, even if we don't file a complaint, there are question marks on women's safeguards. So yeah, safeguards should be like we need to be strict. We need to be very much aware. We need to be focused. If there are again any signs that my safety is a threat here, then we should just raise a complaint as soon as possible. And if it still doesn't work out in the IC, we can definitely go to the police station. In the recent Kolkata case, name of the victim was broadcasted. Isn't that? Yes. Yeah, so now it is a national news in the recent Kolkata case, but as per our law, the name of the victim should not be revealed. The name, the age, father's name, and the father's mother's name, and the address of the victim should be kept in very confidential way. Even in the chart sheet, we write the victim name as XXX and father's name as victim, father of the victim, mother's name as mother of the victim. So we don't reveal the name. But that became a very national news, and everyone got to know that who is that doctor who has been raped. So in such scenarios, it can be ignored. But maintaining the confidentiality of the victim is it's a stricter law. What can we do if we witness another woman go through such harassment at the hands of an employer? They don't speak, or they do. Yes, due to the power imbalance. Okay, just I was speaking about the being dominant. So yeah, so people who have overpower and more power than us, we are scared to speak about them. But yes, the only thing I will suggest in this is awareness and counseling, giving that awareness, mental support and counseling, and telling her what is right and what is wrong. We can only speak that. And if at all, if she is still, she can also file an anonymous complaint. That works if she doesn't want to go and file the complaint, knowing the names and all. Anonymous complaint works. There are initiatives which support women to complain who usually don't pay. Yes, again, social stigma and social neglect. Anonymous complaint. We have the she box. We can again go and file an anonymous complaint. I'll tell you, it's very easy for women to go and file. There is nothing called people would know. Everywhere, they maintain confidentiality. They take women and children cases with very sensitivity, and they don't reveal the victims. For example, recently we have got a charge sheet where victim was 6 years old and her name was revealed. But her name was revealed, her picture was revealed. It is because the victim was first kidnapped. So for publishing her picture and name, they revealed the poster and they kept the poster in the newspaper and everywhere. So that was not, and until then we did not understand she was raped or not. We just got to know that she was missing. After we found her, we understood that 4 men accused raped her. Even after getting the news, we have maintained the confidentiality of the victim. We did not reveal the name. Even just in the newspaper, we have revealed that she has been found. That's it. We did not reveal what happened to her, where did she go, nothing at all. And when we continued our case, we have continued with high confidentiality and maintaining we did not reveal her identity, neither her address, her parents' name, nothing at all. So yes, it's easy to file a case. It's not very difficult. Any anonymous complaints are very much helpful to women who have this fear of social being revealed and all. So they can file anonymous complaints. Any more questions?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I have a doubt that is our workplace becoming safer after coming on the POS Act, or is there need of some other solutions for this issue?
You're not clear. Our birthplace.
Yes, ma'am. Is our workplace is becoming safer after coming of POS Act, or is there need of some other solution for this issue?
Okay, workplace. Yeah, workplace is becoming safer after POSH Act. I can say at least making laws and enactment of acts wouldn't make workplace or a residing place safer. Implementation is important. So where it is implementation is high, it is safe. If not, it's not safe anywhere. But I would say after POSH Act was enacted, it is we can say that we have our rights to go and file complaint. We always don't have to go to the police station, because in police station not only sexual harassment cases are dealt with. There are many other cases, even murder, theft, all the cases they deal in the police station. But when we have segregated acts, it is easier for us to use that and implement that and file a case. So it's not, we cannot say it's safer, but we can say it's easier to file the complaint.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other question?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hello.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Vishal Das. Ma'am, my
Hi.
question is that if a person who is
Mhm.
not an employee, okay,
Mhm.
and he commits the offense of harassment, often of a person of a lady who is
Mhm.
actually a working person in the corporation. So, what will be the punishment for that person, the
Uh,
perpetrator, who is not actually the employee or
yeah,
employee
where the offenses happen?
in the workplace only, ma'am?
Yes. So I'll give you a very clear example. So in a corporation, there's a company. For example, let's take a bank. it's a bank. There are hardly 15 employees in the bank. Okay, but in the bank there are many other visitors coming to the bank, right? So for a visitor, he has tried to harass a employee of the bank. She is the employee, but he is not the employee of the company. He is not employee. He is just a visitor. And if he has harassed a woman, she can still complain the same to the IC, and IC can take the complaint, and IC can ask the visitor also. Then an IC can also send summons to the visitor, and IC can also take actions on the visitor. And then if we, after investigation, after inquiry, if IC finds out that he is working in so and so organization, and even that organization has an IC, then in that IC they can transfer this complaint, and that particular IC of that visitors organization would take up the case and take an action against this offender. Did you
Right,
understand?
ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any more questions?
If there's no one else, then Binav, we can move towards the conclusion.
Sure,
Can-
Rajni. Any more
Yeah.
question, guys?
Let me know if there are any more questions. Can we all switch on the camera once? If you're comfortable, not forcing it all.
Yes, guys, let's switch on the camera.
Hi, Vasundhara. Am I visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, Manya. Hi, Vanshika. I can only see few people on screen, so if anyone else has switched on the camera, I'm not able to see. Okay. So I hope you all have understood the session. Oh, it's so nice to see. I mean, even if you are working and if you are, traveling, you're still doing it. I really appreciate that. I hope it was fruitful. Any feedbacks from your end, I would appreciate. Hi, Ranjan. So I really want to apologize for hi, Ridhima. I really want to apologize for my technical error. Because of that error, your next class couldn't be conducted. I don't know what has gone wrong. I still am unable to share my screen.
No, ma'am, it's completely fine. And the next class, actually, even Gauri ma'am was also busy. So
Okay.
then we decided to, plan it for tomorrow. So
Okay,
it's again, these are technical issues are beyond all of us.
yes. Thank you.
It's-
Okay. So let's end this session.
Yes, ma'am. For joining us. And we are very grateful, Hemant and I and the whole Legal Wise team, we are very grateful to you for supporting us in this cause. And we are very thankful to our participant for understanding and for joining this particular course. We have one more last session scheduled for tomorrow. We'll be sharing the joining link and the schedule with you guys. So thank you so much once again. And one more time, although these issues are beyond us, we sincerely want to apologize with you all. And because Hemant and I and whole Legal Voice team, we believe that our participants should not feel any kind of inconvenience because of us, or even if it's not because of us, we will providing highest value to our participant is our topmost priority. So thank you so much for joining, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.